Thomas at the 10, break through a tackle, 5, into the end zone, touchdown, center of the end zone, and what a catch by Logan Thomas, touchdown, touchdown Washington, fade to Logan Thomas who caught it, touchdown, touchdown Washington.
Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Seems like that's all he does. Our next guest isn't just one of the best tight ends in the game, but he's also one of the biggest and baddest. I mean, a true physical freak, stands tall at 6'6", 250, and he can snag a rock over anyone in the league. Please welcome to the breakfast table one of the greatest Virginia Tech Hokies of all time, from the Washington football team, the tight end, Mr. Logan Thomas. What's up, Logan?
Appreciate you guys. Oh, man, not much. Doing good, doing good.
I'm glad you're doing good, especially considering everything that's going on in Washington. Now, listen, let's talk football. Washington is back in the postseason for the first time since 2015. Not too many people picked you guys to win the NFC East this year. So how would you describe the journey, the vibe, everything that's going on, and also being led by Ron Rivera?
It's been a good season. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, we didn't start off how we wanted to. We kind of got in a little hole and we had to fish our way out. But this team never wavered. We always stuck together. We knew the type of team we were and where we wanted to go. Obviously, some things fell into place, and we got into the postseason. Coach Ron is the man. He's a gem to play for. What you see is what you get, and that's what you respect from him.
Coach Ron is the man, and you guys did fish your way out. Your reward for doing that is you get to face a quarterback who's been to 9 Super Bowls on one of the most talented rosters ever put together, and you get to host them this weekend. You know, speaking of Brady, Chase Young, who is also the man and who we love, said after Sunday's game, and I quote, "Tom Brady, I'm coming. I want Tom." Well, they went to Tom, and they asked him his response to that. Have a listen to this, Logan.
He's obviously a great young player, so you know, we got our hands full with that D-line, one of the best D-lines in the league. So Chase is a great young player. He went to Ohio State, so naturally I think the Ohio State-Michigan thing wears off on him a little bit. I understand that. But we're prepared for, you know, a tough challenge, and should be a fun game.
It should be a fun game, and Chase Young is going to be a huge part of it. You've been around a lot of players. You see him on the other side of the ball in practice. What makes his personality so special, and what makes him so good as a player?
His personality is infectious. The dude is talented beyond belief, and he's learning every single day and every single game. It's going to be scary in a year or two what he can really do. Obviously, he's done a great job this year getting after the quarterback. And with his comments, man, I fully understand what he was saying. He's saying he wants to be one of the greats of all time too. Tom is the greatest of all time, and that's what he's chasing. So, you know, as he cleared it up a little bit yesterday, and for myself on the offensive side of the ball, I got no problem with him having that confidence in himself and you know, trying to be where he wants to be.
It'd be like a Virginia Cavalier calling you out and saying he wants to see Logan Thomas and square. Of course, there's rivalry there. It's Ohio State, Michigan.
Of course.
We've got to ask about your quarterback, Alex Smith. We know he's battled through so much adversity on and off the field the last few seasons. His comeback has been nothing short of miraculous, and yet here we are, and we're wondering if we're going to see him or Heineke on the field this weekend. What's the feeling as far as the quarterback's room goes, and how badly would you love to see number 11 suiting up on Saturday?
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter who's on the field. I'm still be the same guy. I'm still play the same game, but you know, obviously we'd love to have Alex out there if he's able to go. He's kind of been the guy that's been our rock this year, the guy we can lean on, trust in, and you know, make the right plays for us to go do what we got to do. That dude is a special man. Obviously coming back from what he did, but as the season's going on, having a chance to really get to know who he is as a person. He's even a special person, not just a football player. So personally, I'm just I'm thankful that I've ever just had the chance to be around him.
Well said, Logan. Welcome to our show and good luck this weekend, of course. Let's go back to Sunday night quickly. You're up 17-14. The Eagles pull their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, heading into the fourth quarter. It caused a lot of controversy, especially among Giants fans, past and present, and players. They were not too thrilled. Were you surprised Philly made the move? What were you thinking on the field? And what was your reaction when you heard, and hopefully you did, what your coach, Ron Rivera, had to say about that move?
Yeah, I was very surprised. You know, obviously his passing numbers weren't great at the time, but he was doing a lot of damage on the ground with his feet. Obviously had him in the game. And then what Coach Ron said about not being apologetic for winning, I followed those sentiments for sure. Whatever it takes to win, even sometimes if it wasn't in our court to finish it. Obviously we had to, you know, finish the game with the ball, but you know, I was surprised. But like you said, I'm not going to apologize for winning and getting into the playoffs.
Now, Logan, for fans who see you on the football field, we understand you're one of the best tight ends in the business. But you're also one of the best overall athletes in the game. I mean, so much so, if people aren't familiar, you were starting quarterback at Virginia Tech and finished their all-time leader in passing yards and TDs. So how did playing QB help you become the tight end that you are now?
Yeah, I think playing quarterback really allowed me to understand offense as a whole, understand zones, understand when teams are trying to play man or trying to play match. So the pass game was able to come to me pretty easily when it's time for the position switch. Now, the changing the body and learning the physical and learning the hand placement and techniques of blocking, now that was a different story. It took a couple years, and I think that's where I've learned a lot going into this year with Coach Pete Hayner and this football team.
Now, I know the answer to this question. If Coach wanted you to play QB, would you be ready? I know the answer is yes. And I don't want you to give away any secrets to the sauce or the game plan, but just between me and you, nobody's watching. Blink twice if there's a trick play of you playing quarterback this weekend.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we've had some things where you see me behind center this year. So
I've seen you. I've seen you, fam.
Yeah.
That was
Logan,
3 blinks.
I remember you in the pre-draft process, and I remember you as a quarterback. You might have the best arm in all of football still, to this day. You might have the strongest arm in all of football. When you see us drooling over Josh Allen and drooling over Patrick Mahomes, do you ever want to raise your hand and say, hey, let me get in that conversation?
Maybe if this was like 4 or 5 years ago when I still had good shoulders, then maybe I'd get in that conversation. But I'll let those two young bucks duel it out. Those two dudes are special.